For those wanting to escape the UK for some winter sun, headlines are warning against travelling to popular holiday destinations like Spain due to the devastating floods that have hit the country. Ash is with us this morning. Ash, Bhardwaj, travel expert. What's happening? What's the latest?
So there's been extraordinary levels of rainfall in Spain over the last week, particularly around Barcelona and Valencia. And as you can see from these terrible pictures, sadly, it's really affecting the region, and over 200 people have actually lost their lives. The police, emergency services and military are still looking for those that are missing. Now, the United Kingdom has, through the Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office website, the FCDO website, has issued a travel warning to the region. And what that means is they just want you to keep an eye on the weather, keep an eye on what the advice of the local authorities in the region is before you set out for your travels.
It goes without saying, our heart goes out to anybody who's been affected by what's happening in Spain. I'm sure we've got viewers who've got friends, family, maybe even in that region of Spain.
Popular destination, isn't it? Yeah.
It's so important to check whether it is safe to travel before you book or fly anywhere, isn't it, Ash?
Yeah, absolutely. And my advice is, before you go anywhere, always look at the FCDO website. And this offers advice to British citizens travelling anywhere in the world. And some of that is normal information about the different cultures and what you need to think about when you're there. There's specific advice for women, LGBTQ+ travellers, disabled travellers. And then they also have updates about things that are changing over time. So whether there's any particular health things to think about once you go there, or potentially civil unrest. And they also have a traffic light system. So this is whether or not they advise you to travel to a place at all. So green is it's safe to travel. Amber is that they advise against all but essential travel. And red is they advise against all travel. And actually, within some countries, you can have different regions that are different colours. The challenge for what's happening in Spain is that the FCDO website advice is still green for the whole of Spain. Actually, if you go onto the website, there's no map. And if there's no map, then it's likely that it's green advice. But the local authorities in these regions are asking people to stay away.
It's an interesting point, that, because you see a headline like this, which says Foreign Office travel warning for holidaymakers heading to winter sun destinations. When you hear the word warning, what are we talking about there, then, when it comes to this travel, the traffic light system?
So what a warning means is keep an eye on the FCDO website, keep an eye on local news in the place you're going to, because the situation may change. So what we're seeing in places like Cyprus or Dubai is it's currently green, but because of what's been going on in the Middle East, the conflict that's happening there, things could change. And it's just simply letting you know that you need to pay attention to it. And as I say, my recommendation is whenever you're going anywhere, always look at the FCDO website regardless.
Yeah. So you've got an example here of the traffic lights itself with Egypt. So talk us through what we're seeing here.
Exactly. So if you look at Egypt, you've actually got all three colours within one country. So red, which is on the west border with Libya and up on the border with Gaza and into the Sinai Peninsula and on the border into Israel. They're saying don't go here at all. Never, you shouldn't be going to this area. The areas that are amber advise against all but essential travel, which means you shouldn't be going there on a holiday. But you then have this green area, and that's completely secure along the Nile Valley and also Sharm el-Sheikh, which is a very popular destination for British tourists. So
at this time of year as well.
Particularly this time of year, because it's nice and warm. And so you can be reassured by the advice from the FCDO that those are currently safe places to travel. But because of these warnings, they're just saying, keep an eye on it in case it does change.
So you see the country and think, just stay away from the whole country, but actually it's separated within, so you are fine to go to the green part of the country.
You are fine. And where this matters a lot for people that are travelling is if you have insurance, your insurance is only valid in the green areas. So if you then travel into an amber area or into a red area, then your travel insurance becomes invalidated unless you have special high-risk insurance.
I love that you said if you have insurance. Surely a lot of people would say travel insurance is crucial.
I recommend that you should always be travelling with travel insurance because it covers things. The whole point of having insurance is, do you have something to look after you if things go wrong? So for travel, that is, if there's a natural disaster or a change in the status of a place, do you have to get out of there quickly? and can you then claim the money back? If you have a medical emergency there, will your medical costs be covered? Will your emergency transport back be covered? If you need to find accommodation at short notice, is it covered? We tend to think only about if our bags get nicked, but there's a whole host of other things that insurance covers, and my advice is always travel with insurance.
If you do have a trip planned to, say, somewhere in Spain, which at the moment, as you say, is green, but you see in those pictures you're a little bit worried, what do you do in that situation? If you want to cancel maybe or postpone?
Yeah, so the first thing you should always do is contact your tour operator or the airline that you're booked with. As I said, a lot of the travel is already disrupted into the region. And you can ask them, am I able to rebook? Could we delay this? Could I even cancel? Now, because the advice is still green, they're not obliged to give you a refund through legislation. So it's worth you asking them first. And a lot of the operators in these regions will be trying to see if they can send you there at another time. If, however, the advice from the FCDO goes to orange or to red and you contact your operator, then legislation starts to come to play where you will be compensated. And if you can't get it through the operator, it's then when you turn to the insurance company and ask them.
So to clarify, if you've got a trip booked, it's green at the minute, so your insurance is valid, but if it changes...
So, yeah, so if it's green at the minute, so your insurance is valid. If it changes, then you contact your tour operator first to see if you can get the trip cancelled. And then if they can't help you out, then you go to your insurance company, because so long as you booked it whilst it was green, your insurance is valid for that period of time. Okay. So long as you don't go into the region once it becomes orange or red.
Ash, brilliant. Thank you very much. I'm sure a lot of people will be thinking about that winter sun at the moment, and it's really clear. Thank you very much indeed.
Reassured by your advice.
There was a lot going on.